can adjust it on the thing when I
get
edit.
all up in my business.
Yeah, get up all in there. Yeah. Welcome to All Up in Your Business podcast with me, your host, Kaylee Bain, founder of Honey Gin Marketing, where I focus on storytelling. And today we're telling the story of Amanda, and I am so excited. We're going to get into why. But she was kind of one of the big parts of me first starting my business with Honey Gin. But at the time, it was Breezy Digital. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're going to get into
honor.
it.
What an honor.
Yeah, so hi, Amanda.
Hi, Kaylee.
Tell us, what is your business?
So my business is aMANda's Best Friend, and it is a pet care service. So instead of man's best friend, it's aMANda's best friend.
I love that. I was just about to ask you about the meaning behind like how you wrote it. So for everyone who doesn't know, but when you see it, it's her first name, Amanda, but the only parts
that's
uppercase is man. Why can I not explain this right?
Because
my brain dead.
Well, I think the words, finding the words to explain words is sometimes hard.
Yeah.
Right?
So you have the word Amanda. Everything's lowercase except M-A-N. That's right.
There you go.
And then best friends.
Yeah.
Best friend.
Best friend. Well, which I've gone back and forth about changing that, and I went back and forth about changing the whole name, because when I started it, it was just me, and then as we started to grow, I was like, should it just be Amanda's Best Friend? So I met with a marketing company, and I met with you, and we had these discussions, and what the consensus that everybody came to was, you don't know Angie's List, you don't know Molly Maid. When you're selling a personalized service, having someone's name connected to it really gives us this personalized feeling. So we've stuck with it, and since it was just me, it's Amanda's Best Friend. But I have thought recently about maybe adding an S, because now it's a whole team. It's not just me.
I was going to say, yeah, you have a whole team, which we're going to get into even more. And so bring us back to the start. Where did your love for this come from? Where did the idea come from? All of it.
It goes way back. So I was the kid that was like, when can we get a dog? When can we get a dog? And
I promise I'll take care of it.
Yeah, totally. So finally, I think around age 3 or 4, one of my mom's best friends, their cleaners were moving to England, and they couldn't take their 2 golden retrievers. The older one was going with a family friend, and the younger one, puppy, did not have a home. And my mom was like, well, we'll come and meet it. She took me with her. Mistake. The dog came home with us that day. And so anyways, my love for animals has just been at the soul of my being. I think from inception, I've just always been drawn to animals, have a love for them, have a unique energy and connection to them. And so then I wanted to go to vet school, hence NC State. I want to go Wolfpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know nothing about, I know a little bit about the fascination of local college sports. Oh. Where I'm from, that's not a thing. From upstate New York.
Blood down here,
Yeah, people fight.
Oh, it's yeah.
It's
and we're bad fans, good fans.
Right?
Totally.
And for those of you, if you're not from the Raleigh area, Raleigh's very proud because we have NC State, Duke, UNC.
Well, Raleigh only has NC State.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
clear. To be fair.
Duke is in Durham, and UNC
so
is in Chapel Hill. So really, Raleigh has NC State.
We're just surrounded by other college. I was like, if you got to be, you met Taylor. He went to NC State also. Diehard fan.
Yeah.
A lot of this office is diehard fans.
And my brother was a UNC Tar Heel, and so the family rivalry is rooted deep. So
it's actually so much fun, I bet.
Totally. So anyway, I went to NC State with the intentions of going to vet school, and right before I went to undergrad, both of my parents were diagnosed with cancer within 2 months of each other.
Holy smokes!
They're still with us because I will say it, because of Duke. Although they are my enemy, they have incredible medical facilities over there, and
that's amazing.
They've saved both of my parents.
Oh,
in
wow.
a multitude of ways. My dad's had aortic heart valve transplants. My mom has had a stem cell transplant. And so anyways, my college years kind of weren't as expected, but you make the best of the situation you're given. And so I ended up not going to vet school, but I majored in English just to get out, and then went into corporate America, and it was not what
not fun.
I thought it was going to be in any way, shape, or form. And I was in telecom and then banking. And then my last job was actually in politics, last name Cheney.
Whoa.
You can imagine how fun that was 15 years ago.
Any of this.
Yeah.
You were a banker, then in politics, and now.
I was a legislative aide for one of the representatives in the North Carolina House. And
wow.
yeah, that was an experience.
How long did you do that?
18 months. And then my mom relapsed. And so I was good at what I did, but I didn't enjoy. I'm not a very political person. I didn't enjoy what I did.
Same.
And I'm really glad I got out of it back then when I did.
Oh, 100%.
Given the world we're living in.
God, I'd be like, why?
Yeah, so anyways, I was like, if I'm going to work with dogs, I want to work with the real dogs. So
I love that. I want to work with the real ones.
So my love for animals was still there, and I just kind of said, Dad, you know, the past 6 months of Mom going through this stem cell transplant has been life-altering, and I still want to work with animals. So here's my one-page business plan. I'm starting a dog walking company. And he was like, you've lost your mind. You have 6 months, but clear your head.
Help with it at all? Or
Hell no. He was literally, I got
crazy.
the articles of organization on the Cinco de Mayo, like the 5th of May. And he looked at me and was like, let's hope it's not Cinco de Cinco. And I was like, oh my God, like the worst. But with that
Your
being
dad.
said,
Savage.
because it was so savage, but I do think it lit a little bit of a fire underneath me to be
100%.
like, I see that there is a need for this in this area, especially after what we had just gone through and we were shuffling our family dogs around. And so I kept on walking, and here we are. And now I have a team of like 20 people. And in my dad's defense, he and my mom are my biggest supporters. And now he has like got my back every step of the way. And like that was just a funny statement because he's very, he can do like very hilarious quips very fast. And so that was his response. But
I feel like that's like a parent thing. Like, because my dad can come up with some stuff, and I'm like, what? No. Stop. They're funny.
It's like this banter, but also like a loving way of talking shit. But
Right.
also it's inspiring us to like
love a good shit talk.
chase your dreams. So,
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't think my parents have ever told me chase your dreams, because like to them it's just like not a them saying, but they have like, again, like my parents are also my biggest supporters. They can be a little bit quiet about it, but they are like always there. They're like, all right, like what do you need? Do you need anything? Like,
Yeah.
I've never had to ask them. They just like do it, and I'm just, because they see when I need something sometimes, and I'm like, huh? And then I later on I'm like, oh wow, like I didn't know I needed that. Like thanks for seeing something I didn't see. But
I guess that's that experience, of life.
Weird.
Weird how that happens when we age.
Yeah.
But
like no matter how many crazy ideas I've ever had, my parents are like, okay. And I'm like, you sure about that?
well, I think it goes back to, like we have the opportunity at our hands because they didn't. And I think I've done like a lot of reading. I'm a big reader. And I've done a lot of reading on like inherited historical trauma and how especially like the boomer demographic carries trauma from their parents, and then they push it onto us. And
generational trauma.
It's
great.
really fascinating.
Super
it's
fun.
fascinating. Well, we can stop it,
Exactly, right? Like I feel like that's a big thing for us and like all the younger generations, that like we're like very big in wanting to stop where those things are. I know my cousin and I, we talk about that all the time. And
yeah, we have the deeper conversations like this because we want to learn more, and I think we are intrigued at like why we work the way we work, and no matter how much AI develops, like human interaction is something that can't totally be duplicated. Like you can have a conversation with your bot, but this is something that it's your secret sauce,
Oh, I love doing in-person stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I do a lot of virtuals, and they're really fun, but, like, when they're person to person, it's like, hell yeah. It's just like you could feel the energy even more.
Totally.
I like it.
And with pets, I mean, like everything is energy based. You know, you have
yeah.
a dog, and people have been like, well, are you afraid robots are going to walk dogs one day?
No.
Like, have you ever seen a dog? 90% of them around a room are like, yep, I'm leaving the room. So, like, no, I think
Bailey
I've
would
got job
never.
security there.
Bailey literally would never. She would rather die.
Oh, Dolly is like, any beep, she's like, yep, I'm done, out.
First off, actually not even first off, time out. We need to talk about what's your dog's names.
So Dolly is a 3-year-old golden doodle, and actually, nope, she's 4. Bad mom. And Nala is a 7-year-old labradoodle, and I have rescued both of them through a national doodle rescue, which there are so many dogs that need homes unless you are like very intentional about going to a very good breeder. Please adopt, please, especially in North Carolina. There's no legislation around breeding and animal sterilization, and it's becoming a really, really big problem, not just for the animals, but it really weighs on like our resources and our tax dollars, which could really go into helping humans versus animals if there was a little bit tighter of regulations around it. So
100%. And I'm not sure what it is here or now, but back in 2018, I really, long story short, my ex was like, I'm going to get you a dog. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting my first dog. And it was for my birthday. And then it was very toxic. And he's like, oh, just kidding. You thought I was going to get you a dog? That's crazy. You thought I would do that. And I was like, wait, what? And so, like, I had thought I was going to get this dog for, like, weeks. And then when I was told, like, oh, you really thought you were going to get a dog? And I was like, yeah. Now I want a dog. It's in my head, I really want a dog at that point. And so, at the time, and, like, I was very naive at the time, too. I think I was in my late 20s, like, mid or late 20s or so. I don't know. It's when, I feel like the 20s, in your 20s, you're just dumb. Like, you're not dumb, but you just, like, you're not fully, like, you're learning still.
It's like your body is matured, but your brain hasn't caught up yet.
It's still learning.
Totally.
Like, I feel like my 30s, I'm thriving. Like, 30 is,
wait till you hit your 40s.
I
You
can't
just don't
wait.
give a fuck anymore.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm getting there already. And I'm like, I'm about to be a 33 in May, and I'm pumped. Like, I love my 30s. I can't wait for the rest of my 30s and my 40s. Like, these are, like, the 2, like, best decades, I feel like.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, no, I didn't know anything about, like, puppy mill stuff, or, like, I knew of them, but didn't know a lot. In this place where it was, like, a pet store, and I was like, okay, like, I'll just look to see what they have. And there was this little Morkie. And mind you, I've always had labs my whole life, and these things are massive. Like, our labs are big. They're like 120 pounds.
Oh,
like,
those
huge.
are big labs.
They were big boys. They're one big girl.
Chunky boys.
Oh, yeah, and there was Sierra, and she was the chunkiest of chunk.
Aww.
Like, this girl could flatten someone.
I love that.
I loved her. But yeah, so a Morkie in my head, I was like, oh my God, like, that'd be so cool to have a small dog. Like, I'm so intrigued. And so I was like, and also I was feeling really bad. 'Cause I'm like, I don't want this dog to, like, live in this little, like, box anymore. And, like, part of me was just like, I want to save this dog. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I really want a Morkie. And, like, I wasn't in the right state of mind at all anyways, just because of everything else I was going through. And so I was like, yeah, a Morkie sounds like a great idea. Got the Morkie. She was sicker than sick. Like, she was fine for the first day, and then after that, she was so sick. And every day I had to keep bringing her to the emergency vet and then back to the vet. And, like, she was, like, stroking out. She was having seizures, like, foaming at the mouth. It was traumatizing. And I was like, oh, my God. And I thought it was weird. So when I got her, they're just like, yeah, so if you ever have to bring her to the vet in the first 90 days of owning her, like, we will pay back the vet bills. And I'm like, that is weird. I've never done this before, but I don't think that's normal. I don't know. But my parents always got, I don't know, like, back in upstate New York, wherever you got your dog. And, so I just thought that was weird, but I spent a whole week at the emergency vet and then the vet, and, like, there was, like, $2,000 worth of bills.
Oh, my gosh.
And I kept bringing it back, and they're finally like, look, like, every day I was there. I'm like, hey, give me my refund. And they're just like, oh, man, like, this is getting to be a lot of money. And I'm like, well, I signed something that said you would pay for this, so you're paying. And so finally they're just like, well, can we just buy the dog back from you? And I'm like, no. If you let her be in this condition, absolutely not.
Right.
Then I had a friend at the time. She was trying to help me through it. And I was like, oh, my God, I have to give this dog back to her. I was mortified, like, because I couldn't keep paying into it either. because my parents were giving me money at this point to help.
Right.
And then they were getting, it was just a mess. And it was only a week. And I was up all hours, like 24 hours, trying to like syringe feed her, like, because she wasn't taking anything. And then she just started having a seizure. It was insane.
That's so traumatic. Did it make it? Like, what ended up happening?
So, I will say, in Surfside, which is right outside Myrtle Beach,
right,
there's a veterinarian called Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. The team there was phenomenal. Like, they knew me by first name the second day I was there. And they were great. Like I said, every day for 7 days I was there. And they were so nice. So at one point, at the very end, they were telling me, they're like, look, like, we have a Noah's Ark program where we adopt the dog, we get it back to health, and then we adopt it out. Normally, we wouldn't let whoever's bringing the animal in adopt it back, but with your circumstances, they're really unique, and we don't want to have you spend all your money on this. So they're like, if you let us adopt the dog and bring her back to good health, we'll let your mom take her back, like, adopt her, and then you can have her back. And I was like, oh my God, yes, absolutely yes. And I'm like, can I call you guys to get updates? And they're like, yeah. Sure as hell. I called them like every day, twice a day. And I'm like, how's she doing?
That is so sweet. What a great organization.
Right. They were amazing. Like, and they were so amazing.
So does your mom still have the dog?
So 3 days goes by and they said she's doing great in the morning, but at night she's not doing well. Long story short, she didn't make it.
Yeah.
No, they just said, like, it just happens sometimes, and especially if it's a puppy mill puppy, like, it just happens.
They get parvo, they get worms, like, there's damage to those little beings that like they just can't thrive and survive.
And when I tell you, I was
and a lot of the time they're weaned from their mother far too early, which the mother's milk has natural antibacterial agents and yada yada yada. But I'm so sorry, that's terrible.
Yeah, so that was traumatizing, and I was like, I'm never gonna do this ever again. That was awful. But yeah, so that was my first experience trying to get a dog. So since then, I'm very highly against puppy mill. Like, I try to help spread the word about a puppy mill situation. And then working at Unleashed, which is where I met you, which I love Unleashed. I can't say enough good things about them.
Oh, they're such a great local store.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah. I used to do, for those of you who don't know, I did marketing and events for 2 years for Unleashed, which is a local holistic dog and cat nutrition store, but they have,
and that's how we met. Kaylee was like leading up their marketing and was helping run their big spring fling, and it was a hot mess, like, of just dog people and dog vendors in a very compact area for load in and load out. And we met, and I was like, man, if she can help organize all of that, like, she is superwoman. And we just got friendly. And then when you started Breezy,
at the time, Breezy Digital,
we met. I needed some marketing help. I was like, what do I do? And she was like, just start. Start.
I was like, just do it.
Which you said on one of your podcasts earlier, like one of the first ones. You're like, you were meeting with the realtors and they were like, oh, we don't know where to begin. And you're like, just put something out there.
Yeah.
And it's been really helpful.
I can't say it enough. You just got to do it. And I'm speaking for myself on that because I am so bad at starting this podcast. I didn't want to start the podcast because I'm like, well, it's not perfect enough, or I don't know how to do this enough, or I don't know this. And so, like, everyone I work with here at Walk West, they're like, just do it. And I'm like, I'm going to take your and my own advice. I guess I'll just do it. So then I did it finally. But, yeah, so when Amanda and I met for this consultation, it was my first time having a consultation with anyone.
It was?
Yeah. Like, I knew what I was doing, but I just needed someone to do a first consultation with me so I can finally, be like, hey, guys, I'm doing consultations,
and charging money for it.
I'm charging money. I'm terrible at it.
Which she charged me far too little, and I think I sent you even more because I was like, you're ridiculous.
Yes. I was charging, I think, like $50 or something like that for, like, the 2 hours we were. I'm like, hey, $50 is fine. And you're like, absolutely not. No, I'm sending you more. And she did. She sent me a lot more. And I was like, no. She's like, yeah.
I think I sent you $100 more. Like, it was nothing. Like, but to know that I was the first person that you did that with, that's cool. I didn't know that.
And then seeing your results afterwards was like, oh, that made me feel like that's where, like, I love, like, just showing you how to do it. And then you just did it. And then you saw the results. And I'm like, see, like, just do the damn thing. You did it.
Yeah. It was 2023.
And
now, and honestly, I think we've grown our social media following by, like, twofold. I think it's doubled since.
You have a huge following now.
And for a small pet care service. I'm pretty proud of it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're going to focus more on it this year. I've got one of my team members, two of my team members are going to dive into a little bit more marketing stuff, which I'm excited about delegating a little more to them. So
That's so
good.
exciting.
Yeah.
So altogether, how long has aMANda's Best Friend been around?
We started it I got the articles of organization on May 5th of 2011. So
Nice day.
yeah.
That's Bailey's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so well.
She's a
Jesus
Cinco de Mayo puppy.
Which also, for those that don't know, for the listeners, Kaylee has a dog named Bailey, so it's Kaylee and Bailey, which I just think is the cutest thing ever. So.
It wasn't planned
Just
that way.
had to say that for those that didn't know.
So many people, they'll see me because I post about her all the time. And then like when people think about it, they're like, oh my God, Kaylee and Bailey, that's adorable.
I love it.
Fun fact, Bailey is named after Bailey's cream.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cute. Well,
I
she's
did
that
not name
color.
her.
It's
Yes.
perfect. Yeah.
Oh, she's funny. She's psychopath.
Oh.
But she's great.
They all have a quirk,
Right.
don't we all?
I know.
Like,
And
yeah.
I'm obsessed with your Dolly because I love Dolly Parton with a passion. Like, she's my biggest idol, along with Jane Goodall, R.I.P.
Yeah, right. They're two of mine, too.
Oh, my God. Both them.
Gosh.
And then Steve Irwin was my other one.
That's so funny. I was thinking about him this morning about like prepping for this. So
Yeah,
when I
right.
asked you like, what do I need to wear? Because I was like, man, Steve Irwin, like any of the Irwins are so iconic. You see that khaki and you're like, oh, that's Irwin. Crikey. You know,
Yeah,
crikey.
cocky.
This little dancing maniacs.
Oh, my God. Yes.
His kids, like, they're also animal
good.
fanatics and brilliant, but they're also incredible
Really good dancers.
dancers and great human beings. It
Who would have
seems.
known?
So, right.
Animal people, what do I say? They're great.
Well,
You know.
yeah.
So, going back, so you have 20 people that work for you now?
Give or take. So
That's
I
awesome.
started to grow after COVID was a dumpster fire. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Service-based
It's terrible.
businesses tanked. The walking the dog was like the one saving grace, you know, like
Yeah.
my families were like, it's the kids' responsibility. It gets them out of here. Or the husbands were like, I'm walking the dog for the, you know,
Get me
but
out of
get
here.
me out of here. Or the customers that did want to help and like keep using us for peace of mind or whatever, they couldn't based on how the laws were drawn up for the first little while with
Yeah.
COVID. So I totally had to rebuild the business. And once I started doing that, I saw like scaling and growth opportunities. And then I had some personal turmoils similar to yours in 2023. And that's when I really started looking at like, if I'm not going to grow a family, what does growing the business
Yeah.
look like? And that's when I started kind of diving in more on like hiring and marketing. And we launched Greensboro right around that time.
right.
And that's where I'm from and grew up, and my parents still live there. So that was like a natural next step. And it's situated and organized pretty similarly to how Raleigh is. And so that was a lot easier than like of an expansion than I even anticipated. It was just like carbon copy. And then I went into Wilmington and it was working. It was fine. But because of traffic patterns and seasonality and you know, X, Y, and Z. It was just going to be like creating a whole nother business. And I was like, I don't really want to do that right now. So I just doubled down on here in Greensboro. And we've just year after year, we just keep having our best year ever, which is great. And so I have.
Amazing. You can be the best year ever year. And then you're like, oh, we had the best year now.
Right? Yeah. And that's, I think this year is going to be even better. And I have, I think, 15 people here and 4 in Greensboro. And so, yeah, we'll
That's
just
so
keep
cool.
walking the steps and walking the walk.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to remember. I have so many things. All right, I'm going to come back to this other thing I'm thinking about. But location-wise, so you do Greensboro, you do Raleigh, obviously.
Yep.
And then all around Raleigh, like into Durham or Clayton, or like how far out do you go?
Not yet. So currently we've been serving a 8-mile radius in Raleigh. Over the past year, we've been expanding that out. So it's more now like a 9.5-mile radius. And I've been collecting a lot of data of the forms of people in the surrounding areas that hear from us from friends or Google or the marketing we've been doing. And that's what we're going to do this year is kind of look at like do we go into Wake Forest? Do we go down into Garner? Do we go into Clayton and Durham? Those are our natural, probably next steps, are those 4 areas. So
Cool.
Yeah, so
'Cause
we'll
I
see
know
what
someone
happens.
with 3 Frenchies that's in Durham.
Yes.
So
Frenchies are
and
so
they like to
cute.
take trips, and so she's looking for an overnighter.
Yeah.
And so speaking of overnighter, what are all the services that you guys provide?
So we don't spend the night because all of our employees are W-2'd, and so we run into like overtime issues and liability issues. But we do currently 30 or 60-minute visits from 8 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. Every time we come, you get a little report with pictures, a video,
I love pictures.
and a little candid story or anecdote about how the report went. And you can also access a GPS map of exactly where the animal, obviously not necessarily cats, but where the dog was walked. So
That's so cool. That reminds me so much. My cousin, so we call my cousin's kids my nephews also. So when my nephews go to daycare, or I guess the one, he only goes to daycare now, but like kind of same thing. Like they send like those reports like daily and photos. Like that's so cute.
So we call them progress reports instead of
Shut
progress.
up. Stop. I love this. I'm obsessed with the progress. It's so cute. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, what was I just thinking? It was based off of the, do you guys work or specialize like dogs that may have spicy personalities?
Yeah, so sometimes like if you want to take your high energy dog to a boarding facility or a doggy daycare, if they're a little too spicy or if they're still intact or haven't gotten certain vaccinations, they can't go. And so this has been a great solution for those families, or just, a lot of pet parents like to socialize their dogs, but they like to be the ones to do it. And in my opinion, I prefer that that's how that's done, because you spend the most time with your animal, their mannerisms, and what you're comfortable with. So if you do see things are getting too rough, when to cut it based on your comfort level. So we don't take them to dog parks, but we'll take them. We're getting ready. This is going to be a service that we start offering, is like out and about adventures. So we'll take them, to Lake Johnson or Shelley Lake and do a personalized walk out there, stop and get a pup cup on the way home, swing by Unleashed to get a treat or a toy. And so those are some of the things that like we've started to offer, is just like, a little bit, it's all personalized one-on-one attention for the animals versus, like a daycare type environment. It's more like a nanny kind of environment.
Yeah, that's so cute. Like one thing that, like when I've gone on trips or whatever, if I've ever needed someone to like take Bailey for a walk, she has been attacked like 5 times, so she doesn't get along with other dogs because she just thinks they're going to attack her, so she's on the defense always. So since then, I've gotten it's a no-pull harness, and it goes around her little snoot.
The gentle leader?
Yeah. I was like, I have no idea actually what it's called. That's just what I looked it up on Amazon. So,
they're great.
Yeah. I was so sad putting it on her. I'm like, honey, I'm so sorry, because she hated it at first. She's like, absolutely not. I don't want this on me. But I will say, especially right now, because this comes out way later than today. But we're recording this in January when it's icy, and my entire parking lot's ice right now. Like you can't walk anywhere without slipping and sliding. And I told her, I'm like, Bailey, if you take me down, I'm gonna be so mad, because I'm gonna be so embarrassed. And so the no pull gentle lead, it's just like, oh my gosh, she stays right next to me.
It gives you so much more control of the animal. Yeah.
That and
I like those because she can still, like, if she needed to breathe and pant or like drink water, or if she did need to defend herself, they can still operate their jaws enough to help. So.
100%. Because even when we see another dog, like, she does like the whole like trying to get it off her nose. But then she's so distracted with trying to get off that she forgets the other dog's there. And then it's like, all right, they're gone. She's like, shit, I lost my
magic
opportunity.
trick. Poof, they're gone.
She's like, where'd they go? And so it's, I mean, I've only used it a total, I just got it. So I used it a total of like 6 times now. And she, like, I used it this morning, and I'm like obsessed with this tool now. So now I feel way more comfortable if I were to ask someone to walk her. Because I'm like, yeah, just put this on her. And she, like, first off, she won't pull. Like, if she tries to, she tries, but she can't.
Are you making sure you connect it to her collar too?
So I have a heart, like I forget what the harness. It's a big chest harness.
Okay,
that
and
she
you
wears.
also connect that like from the silver thing, the leash to that.
Yeah, so there's a silver thing under her chin and it has a little ring, and then it connects back into her harness.
Perfect. Okay.
So
Just because if she ever did wipe that off, I just wouldn't want her to zoom.
No, it is connected.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm like, what? How is it
2-point contact.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, no. So it's great. Big fan.
Yeah, there's so many tools out there. And, it's like that's even like there's some dogs that if you see them at the dog park and they have a muzzle on, that's the safest way of learning how to socialize. Like that is the best tool and the safest tool. And also, like, just because you see a dog in a muzzle doesn't mean that they're a ferocious being. Like, it could be because they've gotten attacked before, and so it's a reactive behavior. Or it could be because they eat all sorts of whatever they find at the dog park.
Yeah.
And so they're keeping them safe. So it's, again, though, people see stuff and they assume rather 100%. Than having a conversation and asking questions.
Yeah, because, like, when I first started, I just moved where I'm at, and I started meeting people. And they saw how Bailey was reacting, and I tried to pull her away, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And so then I'll see them later without Bailey. And I see their dog. I'm like, oh, can I pet them? And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, I just got to explain my dog. And they're like, oh, my gosh, totally fine. I'm like, as long as you don't think, like, I'm an a-hole or that she's an a-hole, like, she's just got a history. And they're like, oh, my God, it's okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to make friends, but it's kind of hard when my dog won't let me. But she's tough, but she is a super love bug. Like, as soon as, like, she warms up to someone, she is the biggest lover in the world.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, let's be honest. Like, it takes one time. Like, a dog gets attacked by another dog, and they become reactive or fearful.
Yeah, because they're scared.
If we got bit by a dog, you're going to, like, I work with them all day, every day, and I've gotten bit 2 or 3 times, pretty decent in 15 years, not by customers' dogs, just in the realm of what we do. Mm-hmm. And I see certain mannerisms and I'm like, okay, because you learn. And like no one wants to be bitten by a dog. But if they can't understand communication, like we need to vouch for them. And I think that sometimes is where animal problems come in, is that the person isn't doing their job of communicating for the animal.
Exactly. And I'm just like, just talk. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like someone today saw Bailey with the harness on her nose. Oh, she was like a very, very far away from me. Like we weren't even close. And I could hear, oh, hell no, we aren't going that way. We aren't going that way. And I'm like, she's not going to eat you. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, okay. It was just a really weird reaction for someone that was like half a mile away. And I was just like,
and if that makes them comfortable to go the other direction, so be it.
And I'm always the first one that goes the other direction because I'm like, first off, I don't want to go through that. Secondly, I don't want Bailey to get stressed out. Like, I'm good.
That's what we do. If like we go and we always do a meet and greet with 2 of our team members, the 2 team members who will be working in your household. Mm-hmm. And we ask those questions. And so if someone says, oh, they're really reactive around other dogs, we say, okay, what corrective collars are you using or harnesses? And we steer clear to the other side of the street. Even if the owners say it's a friendly dog, we're only there for 30 minutes. We're socializing with them. We can let them introduce the dog themselves. So, but, I'm not cold-hearted. If I'm walking down the street and I see Molly, the dog's best friend, and the lady walking the other dog's like, oh, hey, Molly. Like, I will let them say hey.
Yeah.
But safety, hands down, is our top priority. I just, in doing this, there's like WAG and Rover, and some people have amazing experiences with those. I am not sleight of handing those operations, but I've just too many times heard worst case scenarios where we have so many checks and balances in place that we don't spend the night. But that's one of the reasons we don't, is because you can't backfill it. Other people have lives. Things happen. And it's created an issue too many times. Like, in your apartment might be beautiful and wonderful, but your next door neighbors may not. And that's a really difficult conversation to have. So I've just been like, we don't. Here's what I found could possibly work: a nanny, a relative, a vet student. And then when they're in school or can't, if it's an older parent, walk the dog, we'll come in and do that supplemental exercise. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna keep using Bailey as a great example because I know there's gonna be other people that have Baileys. Mm-hmm. because she is so scared of people, so I know she takes a couple times with meeting someone to get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
How many times would you be able to do like meet and greets type thing? Like, would you be able to come meet and greet with Bailey, let's say, go on a walk with us, and like maybe do that twice for her to get to know?
Yeah, we would do a meet and greet, and then, obviously we could just schedule 30-minute visits when you would be home, and we would just do the walks together just to, for you to see like, oh, this is a really good situation. She's feeling safe. She feels like this is a pack mentality. We're all doing the same job together of going on the walk and in the same routine. So,
okay, cool.
we would do that. And then I would recommend setting her up for the best success possible, and for you up for the best success possible. Let's not plan a 10-day trip after 2 visits and okay, good luck. It's like, let's plan a day where you've got a busy work day and see how she does when you're not there versus like you're out of town and then there's no recourse.
That's exactly how I'd want to do it, because like, poor thing, she's just the scaredest dog in the world. I'm like, Bailey, everyone around, anyone she's ever met loves her and she loves them after 10 minutes of them giving her cheese. And cheese is the way to her heart.
Cheese is the way to all of our hearts.
Right? Especially if it's brie cheese. I'll take brie cheese all day. All right. So to get into my next sections, because I could literally talk about all this all day long. What is a hard lesson you've learned as being a business owner?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably the hardest thing that I have personally learned is, I'll defer to a Maya Angelou quote that's, if people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't keep giving people chances again and again. Like, if that's who they're going to be and that's who they present the first time you meet them, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
And
they might try to change it, but it'll come back.
Right.
Yeah.
People need to want to change for themselves. And until they've done that, there's nothing I can do. I can give them a million chances, but at the end of the day, that only ends up hurting myself. So
100%.
That's probably my biggest lesson, is just, if people give you subpar, they're always going to give you subpar. But, there's a lot of people that show up 100%, 110%, and that's who I want on my team.
Yeah. So then, going off of that, what's a piece of advice you'd give someone wanting to start a business?
Well, if they want to start a business, any business, I would say get involved in a local nonprofit. Not just like, I occasionally will go when they need help, or here's my bag of clothes for Goodwill, or my $25 donation to the Humane Society. It's like, find a nonprofit and get involved. Like, volunteer monthly, go to their events, get to know the people running it, because as a small business owner, not only being connected to the community that I work in and live and support, but seeing people who are further along in their careers and how much good they do in the world, it's inspiring to me. But also you realize, like, those people want to help other people. And so they have been the best mentors and the best friends. And nonprofit is a really special sector that I think gets overlooked for small businesses, because we're already trying to get our feet under ourselves. It's like, how can we give to something else? But what you give, you get back tenfold.
100%. That's a great way to wrap this episode up, because that's just a yes, and yes. Getting involved in nonprofits is huge, and I think everyone should do it.
Be the person your pet thinks you are.
Oh, absolutely. Bailey better think I'm great. She's pretty great. She's a big cuddler at night. I don't know how you feel about dogs in the bed, or how anyone listening feels about that, but
follow my Instagram and you will see dogs in my bed.
Yes, I am pro dog in bed.
It's a queen size bed, and if I ever have any hopes of gaining another person in my bed,
I'm screwed.
It will be a king size, because they're not going anywhere.
Right? And so it gets to be a point, like, at nighttime, I'm like, okay, Bailey, bedtime, or what I say, nighttime potty time, let's go. And so she knows exactly, like, that's the last time and we're getting in bed. And if I don't get in bed right away, she'll come out and stare at me. She's like, excuse you, it's bedtime, let's go.
Yeah,
like,
my one dog, Nala, she's so strange. She was locked in a bathroom for the first 8 months of her life, bless her heart. But she just has some quirky behaviors, and she doesn't whine. She makes this like grunting noise, and she has
like
started,
a little monkey.
Yeah, it's like half Chewbacca, half I don't know, like chimpanzee, but she taps her feet and gets really mad about it when she does it, and she has started to do it like when she's ready for bed. Everybody better be ready for bed because she like is
What a
annoying and
diva.
will like bat you until you go up to bed. So, anyways.
I love when there's little quirks like that 'cause that's so cute. And then, like, we get in bed, and then Bailey gets her nighttime treats, and then she just chills. And then if I'm not paying attention to her or not playing with her, she'll start kicking me. And she'll start, choo-choo, choo-choo. And then she'll start kicking me, and I'm like, what? Like, it's bedtime. And so finally I'm like, okay, time to cuddle. And I'll lift the blanket up, and she'll get up and come over and little spoon me because
Oh
I
my
sleep on
gosh,
my side.
that is so
She goes with a little donut and we cuddle.
That is so
And I'm like, I will never have a man in my life because of this dog.
I do have the rule. They're allowed on the bed. They're not allowed in the bed. So
I
you're
wash
a better mom than I am.
I wash my blankets and sheets all the time. But yeah, no, she's a diva. She gets really cold. She loves to be under the blankets. Like, she's a big blanket girl.
That is so sweet.
She's a cutie.
That's
I have
really cute.
the perfect picture of her as a puppy. I'm actually going to show you. It's when she was awful as a puppy, because anyone who's ever had a puppy knows there's that time where they're the absolute devil. And I'm like, Bailey, you're making me really second guess ever having you at this moment. Like, oh my, like, I would have never done anything, but I was just like, do I let you run free right now? Because I just can't. And this photo just like sums it up perfectly. And she was yelling at me. Oh my God. Teeth, like
You're
devil
gonna have
teeth
to,
and
like,
everything.
Post that or show that somehow. Because
I will. I'll definitely
for
post
those
this.
who can't see this, it's like a little tiny puppy with a mouth, and it literally looks like the dog is just screaming.
I'll put the photo like right on the video that we're playing, but she has the sharpest teeth in the world. And then you have
I
her.
didn't realize she was that small when you got her. Oh my God.
But then you have her being the sweetest thing ever. Yeah, she was
speeds.
She was dumped on the side of the road as a puppy.
Oh.
And then, yeah, she had bad experiences just like that young. And the fact she can like remember some of those experiences, I'm like, dang, Bailey. It's okay, girl. People aren't going to hurt you. But she's terrified of men, too. She's terrified of men, especially men with beards.
Yeah, that's probably, that's
Yeah. But
what
as
they remember.
Yeah. And as like we wrap this whole episode up, I had to say, if you follow any of aMANda's stuff, which I'm going to have her share all of her links and stuff, but there was a photo shoot you just did it was just like you smiling and laughing, and I was like, this is the most adorable photo shoot ever. But she's very pro, because you mentioned earlier, very pro, like, like our age, not having a family, not being in a relationship, like, you really own it and you do it fucking great. And I'm just like, hell yeah, because sometimes I feel like I'm behind and I'm like, am I not doing the right thing, or did I make a wrong decision with my high school crush that I just like never went for? Like, did I make a decision the bad way here? And I'm like, no, like, I'm in a right path, and I see what you're doing, and I'm like, yeah, because like you're like all for like, no, like, I'm in my business, and if someone wants to come along, great.
Yeah.
If they don't, great. And I'm like, yeah. And so I love following your stuff. Like, I think you're a huge inspiration for that kind of stuff. So,
well, thanks.
Yeah, so
and
keep
it
doing
may
it.
look that way, and I'll tell you now it feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
But for several years, it didn't feel that way, and there have been a lot of riding the waves of ups and downs. But I'm really, really lucky, and I've got an awesome village. And you hear that quote a lot, especially in our age of, raising kids, it takes a village.
Barf.
And
like, no,
yes,
stop.
life takes a village. Like, living takes a village, whether it's fighting cancer or getting married or having a baby or starting a business.
Yeah.
Life takes a village. And the sooner we realize that we need each other and just need to love each other a little bit better, I think it'll just get a lot easier. But
Yeah. Because it literally took me getting so close to, like, having a family and doing the whole marriage thing, and then for it just to come crumbling down about 2 years, year and a half ago. I can't remember it. Life's just flying by. And after that, I was super depressed for like 6 months. And then finally, I'm like, no, like, we're just going to, like, focus on the business or working out a business or working on ourselves or whatever. Now I'm finally in a place I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck. Like, I don't need that. I have had zero interest to go on dates. I've had zero interest in, like, anyone. And I'm like, maybe that's a sign, like, I'm just not not that I'm not ready. I'm always ready. Like, hey, if there's any eligible bachelors, like, hey.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
I'm ready.
like,
But also, like, I'm not looking.
I would love to one day find a life partner, right?
100%.
But until I find the right person that fits my life and I'm not shifting and flexing to help them
Yes.
fit, or I'm not giving up who I am at the core, it's not the right person. And I know that because I've got a huge group of, we have, like, we call it the busy bitches or the babs. There are two groups of women in my life that, you know, they'll never fulfill certain components of a relationship, but
They're just as good,
they
though.
they answer the phone. They know, like, I've had a couple of stints in the hospital over the past couple of years. They cook, they drop the things off. They have this, you know, they hold the space. They lift you up. And then they're there to laugh and celebrate the good times.
Yeah.
And, like, if I don't find that person, I'll be just fine because, A, it doesn't define me, and B, I've got 10 people. I don't need one when I've got 10.
That's exactly. Like, I have a close-knit friend group, however that says. Yep. But yeah, it's just like having close friends, I think it means more than anything. And, like, my cousin, like, she's married. And I'm always their third wheel, and I've always been their third wheel because they are high school sweethearts. So it's like it's always been the three of us, and I'm totally cool with that. I'm like, yo, what up, Shade? And like, he's family, but it's just fun. It's always the three of us, and I'm like, you know what? You're just like, I'll never see you like that. But hey, like, he's always like so sweet to me as he accepts me. Like, it's never weird with them, and it's so nice. I can just always be with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I need a dude when I got, like, my two cousins and I got another best friend? I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. And they also probably know that, like, if something were to happen to one of them, you would be there.
Exactly.
You know? And
Yep.
I have a really, really special friend in my life who she's, like, been, like, my big sister. And she fought cancer a couple of years ago. And it was just something where she just was like, I know that if something happens, you'll be here for my child and my spouse in a way that's, like, not romantic, but part of the family.
Yeah.
And
It's like you're the sister. Yeah.
it's the greatest compliment I could have ever been given.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So as we wrap up, can you tell us where people can find you?
First, thank you for having me. This has been such a joy, and I just feel honored to be a part of your journey. If you want to follow me, I'd love to follow you back. Our Instagram is at aMANda's _best_friend. You can DM me there. You can get in touch with me through Kaylee. I'm really excited to share along that, you know, after 15 years of doing this, small business owners, specifically pet care providers, whether it's an independent person running their own startup like I was, or someone who has 2 or 3 team members and they're looking to scale, I've been reached out to a lot by a lot of people. And so after 6 months of hard work and a lot of just self-exploration and also just figuring out, like, how I want to present this spring, I am launching a coaching and consulting arm of the business.
I love that. Yeah. That's so exciting. So, yeah. Congrats. Thanks. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Thanks.
Well, by the time this is out, this will have already been started. So then I will link that stuff in the show notes as well.
Totally.
So everything to find Amanda and her business will be in the show notes. Other than that, got anything else for us?
Just adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop. I'm going to...
And love your neighbor. Just be kind.
Yes.
Be kind, please.
100%. Be kind to everyone. Be kind to your neighbor. Love your neighbor. Go check on your neighbor. Go check on your friends.
Love like a dog.
Love like your dog.
There we
Because
go.
they are such lovers. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited. This has been like a full circle since 2023, coming on back to 2026. Oh, it's so exciting. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. And again, if you want to see all of our stuff, go to the show notes. Other than that, I guess I'll see you next week. Oh, and don't forget to do all the things. Subscribe, share, rate, review, share on Instagram because that's where I'm all over the place. And yeah, go check out my YouTube too if you want to watch it. So
And keep listening.
And keep listening for more. All right, have a good one.